opportunity. Welcome everyone. I'm Mrs. Coral. I know I'm a new face for lots of people. This is my first year here at the middle school. I'm actually one of the special education teachers, but I took over organizing Nature's Classroom this year as the teacher that used to organize it moved to another grade level. So I've spoken with some people on the phone, I know, and answered some questions. I'm always available by phone or email if you have any questions as we're going through this process. But I invited Jeffrey Bishop here. He's actually the founder of Nature's Classroom to speak with you today and answer any questions that you might have about the program.
Great, thank you. Hey everyone, how are we doing? Great, wonderful. So my job today is to give you a little bit of information about the program and to get you to understand what the program's about, a little bit about our history. And the first thing I'd like to say is Cudahy Middle School was our second client ever. Way back in 1996, the spring of 1996, you arrived at Nature's Classroom in April to a snowstorm. So since then, I think this will be your 22nd year participating in our program, which is of all the schools, and we have over 150 schools that come to our program. Cudahy Middle School is our longest and oldest friend client. So that's kind of a nice thing. It's nice to be back here as well. Started with Kirsten Engler, and I won't ever remember her. She was a teacher here many, many years ago.
She now works with environmental classrooms and
she's at the Nature
Urban
Ecology Center.
Former assistant principal.
Yeah. So as I said, I started Nature's Classroom in '96. I actually came out of a program in New England that was an environmental education program, and I was not impressed with the quality of the programming they did. And the reason is because their program was identical every single week that students came to it, no matter what age group the students were, no matter what type of school the school that was participating was, how many times the students, was a cookie cutter program, everybody got exactly the same thing. So when I came out to the Midwest here and started Nature's Classroom, I wanted to create a program that was unique for every single school that participates with us. So that required us to write an enormous amount of curriculum to be able to offer to our schools so that we could create unique programs for every school. So what came out of that is now we have many, 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 many repeating schools here in Wisconsin. A lot of our schools come multiple years. Cudahy, the students come once, but we do have schools that come up to 15 times in their school career for 15 weeks and always do something completely different. So one of the things that's also unique about us is that one of the things we'd like to do is spend time with the teachers and pull together curriculum that really fits what you're doing in the classroom, in the 7th grade curriculum, rather than making it something you just do outside and then you come back to school and it doesn't really relate. We wanted to make curriculum that actually really related to what's going on in the classroom. So I've been talking a lot about curriculum, and most people think, oh, it's Nature's Classroom, don't you just study about nature? In actual fact, no, we don't. So most people get the concept of environmental education confused with nature education. Environmental education basically means all education in the built and natural world. So that also includes mathematics, and includes social studies, history, art, music, geography, all the sciences. So at Nature's Classroom, they won't be just studying nature. They're also going to be doing math. They'll be doing history, they'll be doing social studies, art, music, and a big part of the program is choice. One of the things I'd like to try and get drilled down right now for you is to give you what a typical day at Nature's Classroom would look like. So we wake up at 7:15 in the morning. They have about a 45-minute time to get organized for the day, and then it's breakfast. Our meals last 1 full hour. So we're in the dining room, sitting down at the dining room table for an hour. And you've noticed I've used the term dining room rather than lunchroom or cafeteria, and that's because we specifically designed our dining room to be like a home dining room where you sit down with the family, you enjoy the meal, you enjoy conversations, we do games, we learn about food systems, we learn about waste, we learn about energy in our food systems. And it's also the only time during the day where the students have nowhere to go and can really relax. So breakfast, an hour, typically in breakfast and lunch and dinner. There's lots of choice as far as the food is concerned. We're very well known for the quality of our food. We offer a big variety for the children to choose from. Rather than saying this is what you get to choose what you want. For example, you could choose multiple different kinds of cereal. You could have French toast, pancakes, eggs for main course. There's always a fruit bar. We're a nut-free facility, so we serve a sunflower butter. So you could go and make a sunflower butter and jelly sandwich if you wanted to. You could have oatmeal. So it's a big variety, and the goal is that every child can find something to eat and have enough nutrition to be able to survive the 14-hour day Nature's Classroom. So after breakfast, they have a half-hour break, usually to go back to the room and clean up their rooms, make their bed. We don't allow any sleeping bags. We want your students to come to Nature's Classroom and actually make a bed. So you'll bring along a top sheet, a blanket, a pillow, and a pillowcase. Notice I didn't say a bottom sheet, because our mattresses are probably not the same size as yours. So using 2 top sheets to make a bed will make it so much easier for them to actually make a bed. So after that half-hour break, we go into what's called our field group experience. The students are assigned to a Nature's Classroom teacher. We guarantee our schools a 1 to 12 teacher-student ratio from our educators, but we typically try and staff on a 1 to 10, 1 to 9 student-teacher ratio. So we have 10 staff that work with your students full-time, and I'll talk about them a little bit later on. So field group is about exploration, guided exploration, and guided discovery. We're not interested in teaching the kids the name of 10 trees. We're really interested in getting students really excited about being in the environment, finding things that really excite them and interest them, and then kind of discovering what it is or what it's about. We're also into this idea of the scientific theorem of processed thinking. So we're not in the game of giving out lots and lots and lots of answers. We ask lots of questions. We try and guide students to use the resources that are around them to come up with the answers for themselves, whether it be another student in the group or by pulling apart whatever they happen to find to discover what the answer is, but getting them to use their inquisitiveness and their curiosity to kind of come up with the things that are interesting to them. We take students out and we ask them where they want to go. Today, do you want to go to the wetland? Do you want to go to the meadow? Do you want to go into the woodlands? Getting them to kind of be the leaders rather than us dragging them through the woods, giving them this, 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 this. We want them to really lead and find the things that are interesting to them. We also do a lot of team building in that field group experience in the morning. We have a low ropes course. We do communication listening skills, working together. Do I need a leader? How do I listen? How do I express myself when I get frustrated? Things like that. So working together, team building, respect, and then also the discovery of the natural world. After around 11:30, we finish up on field group. They have a half an hour break. Go into lunch. Once again, lunch, a full hour. They have a full salad bar option, plus the main course. We also do gluten-free, vegetarian, soy-free, and nut-aware options. And any dietary needs your child has, we will take care of. So all the way to a completely separate menu. That does not include picky eaters. Picky eaters will find a lot to pick from. But allergies and dietary restrictions and needs, we will totally take care of that. No child should miss this opportunity for any reason whatsoever. We'll adjust and make it work for every single child. So after lunch, they have another break, short break, and then we go into what's called our by-choice classes. So in the afternoon, we will offer 5 sections of classes. Of those 5 sections, there will be about 45 to 50 classes that they can choose from. So they're not just choosing from a section of like 3 different activities. They get 50 different activities of which they get to pick 5. Lots and lots and lots of choice. And the goal is that every child has a unique experience while having an experience with the group. And I know not every kid's interested in math. Not every kid's interested in science. Not every kid wants to go down to the wetlands. Other kids might be interested in doing yoga, building structures, learning a little bit more about the animals in the group, doing some history activities, learning about the history of pirating. Lots and lots and lots of variety. Music, art, cultures, all kinds of different activities that they get to choose from that will be taught by our teaching staff. So we have, typically on a day, we have 2 activities in the afternoon. One would be a class, or one day has 2 classes. All the other days have 1 class. And then we have what's called a large group activity. And these are activities where all the students and all the staff participate in a learning experience together. And one of those may be Predator-Prey, which is a predator and prey relationship game, learning about the food system, biomagnification, how energy moves up the food chain, how pesticides move up the food chains, how high order animals predate on low order, why there's only very few eagles and millions and millions and millions of insects, and how the whole pyramid stands and how to upset it and turn it on its head. And that's a tagging game and a walking game, and it's out in our woods, and it's probably one of the highlights of the kids' experience at H's Classroom. But we have about 55 to 60 of those simulations that the school can choose from that we've written over the last 20 years. Everything from historical activities like the first shot in Concord of the Revolutionary War, to how oil is traded around the world, to social studies activities, learning about cultural biases, learning about how we listen and talk to other people, to art activities, and also music activities. So lots and lots and lots of choices in those large group activities, which the teachers have input into choosing. So after those afternoon activities, another short break, and then we go into dinner. Once again, lots of choices. After dinner, we do a journal writing time. It's about a half an hour period right after dinner. And then we go into our night activity, which is an extension of those simulations. So on the first night, typically we might do some team building stuff, but then on the second, third, and fourth night, we will be actively participating in the, say, need to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree. We hire them from all over the country and the world, and then we spend an enormous amount of time in training. So most of our staff will go into academia after they've finished working with us. A lot of them will actually go into Montessori education, which is a different kind of education. We also own a private school, a Montessori school, and they get training in that program as well, while they're going through the process of learning to be an instructor, learning to be a teacher, and seeing if this is a career that they really want to be in. So not only are our students in the program to learn, but our teaching staff are also in the program to learn to become really amazing and incredible teachers. And then a lot of them will go into schools here in Milwaukee. We have a lot of our ex-teachers here in Milwaukee and Chicago, and so forth. So our program operates, we're out of Lake Geneva, right on Lake Geneva, just on the south side, just past the Wrigley Mansion, if you know where that is. We also have 2 programs in Texas, one in Wimberley in the Hill Country, and another one in Bruceville up near Waco that works with the Dallas school programs. And then we have 2 sites in California, one in Angeles Mountains that works with the LA schools, and another one that's up in San Jose working with the Bay Area, San Francisco schools. So we've kind of grown as an organization, mainly because of the demand for our curriculum. We also do trainings all over the country now for our science curriculum as well. So the reason I'm telling you that is, for a lot of parents, there's kind of a demand on the child's time. The school, we need our kids learning, we've got a lot we need to get through, and there is the presumption that a program like ours, they're going to go out, they'll just play around, and then they'll come back, and it was just a week away. The reality is they'll probably learn more and connect more to their subject material in the classroom in our program than they probably do in 3 or 4 weeks in school. And the reason is because what we do with the curriculum that we get from the school is we bring it alive and connect it to real life applications. So it becomes real for the child, and the learning becomes much more interesting and much more exciting for them. So how do we get this organized as far as the school is concerned? So there's a couple of things that you folks will need to do to be able to participate in the program. First, there's some registration that's already gone out, and there's a fee which we don't have anything to do with. That's part of the school. The next aspect is that you'll need to sign up on our registration, which is what we call an online portal. It is not ready right now. We had to build it from scratch because we have a very unique requirement for our registration. And the first one we built 3 years ago is now getting a little clunky. So we're releasing a brand new one this January, at the beginning of January, which you folks will get to use. You'll be able to use it on your iPhone. You'll be able to sign up on your iPhone, a laptop, iPad, very user-friendly. And basically what we're asking you to do is just give you'll sign up, you'll create a username and a login just like you would do with Amazon or any other program, and then go in and fill out all the information on your child. The more information that we have on your child, the better able for us to look after him or her to make sure that they have everything that they need and that we can support them, especially if they take medications or they have any dietary needs or any specific issues. If you have, for example, if your child takes their medication with milk and you don't tell us, we may not necessarily do that. But if you let us know, then we will make sure that your child takes their medication with milk. There's many, many little idiosyncrasies with those kind of things. The more information that we can get, the more able we are to support your child. We have 2 staff members that work full-time on the medication and making sure that the meds are dispensed according to your description. You need to send the meds in their original prescription bottle, not in one of those little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday containers, or in a Ziploc bag with 5 pills that says, give one to my child each day, and the bag's empty. They need to be in the prescription bottle, which is the bottle you get from the pharmacy. The students are not allowed to have anything on them, including creams, antibiotics, vitamins, any of that kind of thing. That all has to be dispensed through our medical program. So all those kind of things. Basically, the easiest thing to do is once you've registered all that online, just on the Sunday night before you come in, put everything in a Ziploc bag, label it really well, zip it up, and then when you arrive at school, you're going to give that to your teachers, and then they'll then hand it over to our staff on arrival at Nature's Classroom, and then we will take care of all that. If, for example, when you sign up on the portal, a week later your doctor says, changes your prescription, all you have to do is stick a note inside the paper bag. If, for example, on the online portal and what's on your prescription bottle does not match, and you haven't indicated why it doesn't match, you'll get a phone call from us. So if you know, for example, the doctor changed the prescription and he's only getting 1 pill a day instead of 2, just put a note and write a note and sign it saying, my child's medication has changed, please now only dispense 1 at night or at breakfast, whatever it happens to be. Sign, loving mum, goodbye. Yes.
Just to confirm, so you want us to sign up in January for this?
Yeah, so you won't have access to the portal
Okay.
till January anyway.
Okay.
And that'll come out from an email from the teachers. They'll send an email out to everybody. If you're going to Nature's Classroom, you need to sign up on the online portal. Here's access to it. You can also go onto our website. There's a lot of information on our website. There is a link to the portal on our website, but don't go on there till the teachers give you that email, because you'll actually be logging on to the wrong place. So as far as clothing and things like that, what your child will need while they're coming to Nature's Classroom, one of the things I suggest is please do not pack for them. Packing is an amazing skill that your children will need as they go into adulthood, because people now travel an enormous amount, and knowing how to pack efficiently, being able to live out of a suitcase, knowing where all your stuff is an incredible skill that you can be passing on to your students. So having them pack for themselves, there will be a fatigues list, a list of what to bring. It's on our website, you can download it, give that to your child and say, okay, pack, here's the stuff you need. And then just work through with them so that they make sure that they bring everything. They will need a good pair of outdoor shoes. They'll probably need to be dressed in 4 layers. Most kids, when they come to schools nowadays, wear a t-shirt and a big old jacket in the middle of winter. It's not going to work at Nature's Classroom because They need to keep their body stable, so being able to be in cooler, warmer, all different kind of climates will make their life easier, because they are outside in the field in the winter. They are going into buildings that are heated at 60 degrees, and they're going into buildings that are heated at 75 degrees. So being able to take one layer or two layers off, they need to, putting on layers when they need to is really helpful. Good solid boots and lots and lots and lots of pairs of socks that they can change. If their feet are warm, their body also will be warm. Good solid gloves. Mittens are great because they keep your fingers warm, or if you've got a good solid pair of gloves. And then hats that cover the ears. Baseball bats. Baseball hats will not work in the winter also. So they say there's no bad weather, just bad dress. So thinking about how's my child going to do if he's going for a hike for an hour out in the snow? What should he be wearing? What do they wear when they go out and play out on the weekend in the winter? Making sure that they have good snow pants, things like that would be great as well.
Would you prefer winter boots or hiking boots for them?
I would say winter boots. Hiking boots aren't as well insulated as winter boots are. Although they've got good traction, they may not be as insulated. If he has good insulated socks, then hiking boots, if they're waterproof, will work, but winter boots probably. They're not going to be hiking extreme terrain, very light terrain, and then most of the time they're going to be on well-worn trails or in the snow, so a good pair of snow boots will actually work just fine. Any other questions that you might have? It's an incredible program. Your students will have a great time. If you talk to the 8th graders, they came last year, the 9th graders, so there's probably alumni out there that have kids now in the elementary school that came to Nature's Classroom 20 years ago. You could probably talk to them about their experience. If you have any specific requirements, your child has either dietary needs or medical needs that you're a little concerned about, let the teachers know or give us a call. Our number, our contact information is on the website. We will walk you through everything you need. I just spoke with a lady this morning whose child is handicapped or paralyzed from the neck down. She's coming for 5 days to our program in Texas, and we walked through everything that you would need, how it was going to work, and that child's going to have an amazing time. So we will work with you, dietary needs, any kind of needs that you might have, to make sure that your child can participate to the best of their ability. Great. Yes?
What about the normal class for the kids who have a normal week?
That would be an answer from that direction. What are the children who are not going to Nature's Classroom?
They will have regular classes. The curriculum focuses around more nature-based instruction.
You're referring to the work that they would miss, right, while they're gone?
Correct.
They're exempt from that work. Yeah.
They're exempt? What about a foreign language? I mean, how would they be exempt from missing a week of foreign language?
Because we feel so strongly about this experience that it's always been, the teachers are notified well in advance the group of kids who are going, and we make accommodations so that they're not missing key concepts or key curriculum.
They might, maybe in that case, they might have that student work ahead or arrange something, but as far as like whatever assignments would be missed during the time that they're gone, they would be waived from that. It wouldn't impact their grade.
Yeah, they won't be penalized at all for missing anything that week.
Because this is like supplemental, it's not.
Yeah, and they're like he said, they're still doing curricular type things,
Sure.
but it's more experiential as opposed to, on a Chromebook, that kind of thing.
Big aspect of the learning that goes on is the learning of independence. Being able to do things for themselves. They've got to get themselves organized for the day. Have kind of that extra experience is also a big part of a child's education. Education is not just academics, it's also life. A massive amount of experience doing those kind of things as well. Yeah.
One more question. Can they bring disposable cameras?
Yes, disposable cameras, but no electronics at all. All the electronics stay at home, no iPhones, no iPads, telephones, any of that kind of thing. All that needs to stay.
Okay.
When my older grandson went, the teachers sent pictures.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was a blog last year, and we'll see where we're at on that and how we can, but we'll share. We leave you in the dark and hope they are all surviving. No, we'll come up with a way that the kids who are going, that we can share kind of pictures and some of the experiences that they're on.
Is a camera on the list of things to bring?
It is on the list, a disposable camera is on the list of things, yeah. But no flashlights, any of those kind of things, and it's pretty specific, the list.
Okay.
I tried my best to gather most of the information that's provided on the class, on the Nature's Classroom website, and I have included it in the packets that many of you have. I know at the beginning of the year, some people got kind of a purple flyer and it had some misinformation in it as the planning process has gone on. So this is pretty thorough, giving a brief overview like he just covered of what the program's all about, and also includes a lot of information like the packing list and how to help your child and what to do to get on the portal. And then I will be sending an email out as soon as I get the go-ahead on when that new portal is ready for you to sign up. So I want to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming out, folks. That's great. And I know there's a lot of folks that aren't here. If you have friends that are not here, let them know about the program so that their child has an opportunity to be able to come as well and participate. It'd be great.
Before you all do head out, we did want to present some opportunities to do some fundraising to help alleviate some of the costs associated with the trip. So anybody who participated in the first school fundraiser, those proceeds will be able to be applied to the cost of the trip once the $100 deposit was set aside. And then we have materials here to do Racine Kringle fundraiser, as well as Poinsettia and Wreath fundraiser. They'll run concurrently together.
And these are awesome. They have Packer poinsettias. And maybe if we buy a lot of flowers, the team will get better. I don't know. Jingle Bell, which is badgers, them you can buy and they're doing great. Blue Moon, turquoise, purple, they have a rainbow sherbet, which is a yellow and a pink, orange crush, pretty much any kind of poinsettia you want, they've covered it. On the other side is their wreaths, and a variety. This is a new company for us, so I talked with the lady myself, and they are enthusiastic and want to do a good job. They are a Wisconsin-based company.
And both sales for the Kringle and the plants or the wreaths are going to run through, starting today, all the way through to November 21st. All fundraising materials can be returned to myself, and then Ms. Cullen and I will process those. And once everything's processed, we'll update you to let you know what profits then have gone towards the cost of the trip. So you're not forced to participate, but it's a nice opportunity to help offset some of the costs of the trip so everybody can hopefully participate and get there.
And there will be a couple more fundraisers after the first of the year. So if this isn't your thing, we're probably going to do Soroji's chocolate. And
Form gave an earlier date, but you actually have until
That's November 1st.
November 24th, so you have a little bit of time yet for the deposit.
So I have a question. When I fill out the purple form, it's the same thing on the yellow when we first got these forms.
you're
So
fine.
we're still okay, so I don't have to resend this?
Yep, you're
Like
fine.
$100? Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
yeah, it's already been turned in. We're not going to
Great.
fill everything out.
Because I sent the $100 prior, so I just want to be sure. Okay.
Any other questions?
How big is your facility? How many acres?
Total, we have access to about 450, 450.
Oh, that's big. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Over the counter medication, does that require a note from a physician?
No, no, just, well, schools have different policies on that, so you'd have to check whether, however the dispense happens here at school, if you have to have a doctor's order for everything,
You have to
maybe
fill out that form.
you may have to fill out that form, yeah.
Aspirin.
We go off what the school's policy is, because it's a school trip.
So what if you haven't filled out that form, you
The
take
medication.
it in the morning and it's not taken at school?
Then I would get a form from the school
Okay.
for any over-the-counter meds, anything that's prescription, like you said, keep it in the bottle, put the directions, because they have people who make sure that it's dispensed.
And then
It
that
is
would be
always good to
certified.
send like Tylenol, because who knows what's
So then we
there.
would turn that over-the-counter meds into the school prior to
Yeah, in the Ziploc bag labeled.
Yeah.
We have Tylenol and ibuprofen,
Yeah,
all those
that
things
makes
on
sense.
site, but it's also good for you to also, if you have specific things you're sending, then Benadryl we have on site, things like that.
Put file with the nurse, and
Yeah.
that way it's
And
just.
then that's fine, and then just let her know.
And then we'll make sure we get a copy of that to take with us, and then just make sure you send with the note.
So if the child, gets a headache down there, do we have to send a note for that? And
No.
Or fill out
No.
a prescription?
It'll be on the online portal, it actually addresses that, and you get to choose if your child happens to get a headache, do you prefer ibuprofen, do you prefer Tylenol?
She's saying like if she's sending it as a regular like
No,
over the
no, I'm
counter.
not gonna send anything. I was just, but I thought you guys said we should fill out a form.
That was like if she's sent, she's
Oh.
saying like she gets something every morning, then, you know.
And it's
then-
over the counter then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Is there any sort of medical staff available in case?
All our staff first aid, CPR trained, anything above basic first aid and CPR, we use our local emergency facility, which is the Lake Geneva Hospital emergency facility there.
How many times have you had to use that?
We actually, to be honest with you, not a lot.
Good.
Not a lot. And typically it's like a sprain, or in the winter time, a kid who gets a cold and the temperature goes up to 103. You'll be called in those cases, and typically if they're getting a temperature, you'll come pick them up, because they don't really want to be with us, they want to be at home. Yeah. And it's lucky for you guys, it's not that far, it's only
Yeah.
15-minute drive.
So if you get home tonight and you have some further questions, you can feel free to email me or call me. If it's something that I don't have the answers to, I can certainly get in touch with the people at Nature's Classroom and try to get those answered for you. Otherwise, you're free to come up and pick up the goal forms if you don't have them, or the fundraiser information, and we look forward to seeing who signs up and who gets to participate this year.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.